Hey, everybody. Welcome on into another episode of the WTH podcast. My name's Nate. That is Kareem. And that is Jason. Oh, I like the spin move. And Delta has brought us here. As in different places. That's part of it. It's not all Delta. It's we have Darling New Media. We have the 916 podcast is recording in Studio A at the same time we're recording. So Studio B still not quite ready. So a couple of good reasons to do things the way we're doing. I'm looking on the Facebook right now, so I have a delay. But if I want to look over at the guys, I have to look over here with my camera right here. It's all very weird, but that's how we go. I'm going to turn the guys up now so we can hear them. Jason and Kareem, how are you, fellas?
Amazing.
Oh, boy. A couple weeks away because I had surgery. And the night before surgery, I did not want to come in and do a podcast. I was not in the mood for it. So we didn't do it. And then the following week, I was too sore to sit at a desk like this for an hour and talk. I was just in... it would not have been a good show, I think is the best way to put it. Because, you know, when you feel... Basically, take 3 fingers and put them right in the middle, just below your rib cage, and push in and up kind of hard. That's what my stomach felt like last week if I sat at a desk. And I said, you know what? We're taking another week off. Because that's what we do here is we make sure, hey, look, we've already done 10 years of this, so the least we can do is take a little time for ourselves when we need to.
Especially for yourself.
Right. Especially for, it's all about me.
Yeah, you're the one with an infant.
And a 2.5-year-old.
And a 2.5-year-old.
Don't forget that. Almost 2.5. Potty training in full effect. How's that going? You know, you win some, you lose some. You know, a lot of people said bribery. The only problem is our kid doesn't really like a bunch of candy and stuff like that. So the only thing we have to bribe her with is the healthy shit she normally likes. So it's not really a bribe. It's like, we're going to give you that anyway. So
you have to figure out what her thing is. You know, I mean, you start giving her all kinds of different candies and fruits and
yeah, and she gets all kinds of fruits. Her new favorite one is, and I don't know why, because she's had it before and wasn't a huge fan, but blackberries are now her jam, so to speak. But my favorite is because when she eats when she eats blackberries, she has like a little blackberry soul patch right afterward. So we've got all that we're dealing with, but that's all right because we are back after a couple of weeks away. I know Jason's got vacation coming up in August. We have a substitute because gosh knows we can't do it without him. Ian Riley from KHOP will be joining us for a couple of episodes. Actually, I was pleasantly surprised when he said, "Yeah, I'd love to do both episodes," and I said, "All right, you've saved me some work, sir."
Awesome.
So we're gonna do that. That's when you're going back to New York, right, Jason?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So before we get going, thank you, Kevin Fontana, for our theme music. We do appreciate that. Love it. I like it more every time I hear it. So I'm super stoked to be having that. Coming up on the show today, COVID is killing a lot of different things. We have a full round of Fuck That Guy, inspired by Valerie Bertinelli, of all people. Who knew? And this one thing that I titled Utah, but not Alabama, we'll get to all of that, as well as cheese and small town news. But before we get to all that, guys, what do you want to talk about? Kareem, how about yourself? What do you want to talk about?
What is equal rights?
I guess that depends on who you ask.
Amongst the sexes.
Oh.
So
Go on.
So I was going to talk about this before we cancel, but then I wasn't going to talk about it today. And then I saw a new article about something different but similar. So there's a bill on the House floor, I guess, to include women in the draft.
There's a draft.
There's possible if there is a draft in the future.
Okay.
Says that women will be included in the draft. The Republicans are against it, but there are women's groups that are for it. So it's just what the question is like, what is equal rights? And then the other thing was the Supreme Court ruled, or not the Supreme Court, but a court ruled on the men's and women's soccer team about their compensation.
Okay.
Like the week before before our last podcast was supposed to go.
Right.
And so whenever you see it, you see the bonus structure for if they make the World Cup.
Okay.
Well, the men and women's contracts are different.
Mm-hmm.
And not because it was sexist, it's because the women decided that they wanted more stability in their contract than the men did. So the men's contract is pretty much a pay as you play. So they only get money if they play and for however long they play. So they get a higher percentage because of that. The women's contract has more guarantees built in. So they get a salary, they get severance pay, they get maternity leave, they get health care, they get a bunch of things that the men don't get, which actually ends up making what they earned in that time more than what the men did.
Ha ha.
More than what the men did.
I had a brilliant idea there, and that it did not work at all. So keep going. Sorry.
But they ended up making more than what the men did. But it's kind of like they wanted their package, and then they wanted the men's bonus package included with their package. So, the question is, what is equal?
Yeah, it's a tough question on that, because you're built when you trade off the opportunity to make more money with more risk. That's always kind of a slippery slope. It's like the difference between do you want to be a commission salesperson where you could make $50,000 this month, or you could make $50 this month, or do you want to have a guarantee that you're going to make $3,000 this month?
Yeah.
And you go to bed going, you know what, I'm going to make $3,000 this month, and I'm happy about that, and that's cool. That's all I need.
Yeah.
But it's tough to then turn around and complain.
And I'm actually going through that right now, because I just got switched from salary plus commission to straight commission. And when I was weighing the options in that, I'm like, okay, it's pretty much what you just said. I could do $50,000 worth of work and get $3,500 over this way, or I can do $50,000 of work and get $6,000 over here.
Right.
But I can't complain that I don't get the $3,500 on top of the 6,000.
Right. Well, I mean, you can complain all you like. This is America. This is America. You can complain all you like. That's all we do.
But that's the deal we set up. And then the other part was, with the draft, is like, hey, if you want to be equal, that's cool. But these are the other things that men have to do that you don't, that you have to participate in now.
And I think it's an important conversation to have, that the equality does come with some things you have to do. Yeah. I think that, and honestly, I think that's something that they might gladly take on at this point, because a lot of times these contracts for women were put in place when it's like, well, here's what you can have, take it or leave it. And the upside was not there. And that was the problem, is if the upside is not there, if the women don't have that upside option that the men had to begin with, then of course they're going to go for the contract that has the guarantee, so that they know they're actually going to get something. because otherwise they could find themselves, completely out in the cold with nothing. So I mean, that's kind of where you got to look at it and go, okay, well, did they really have when the contract was signed, was the opportunity there? And the answer is probably no.
Well, not in this case. In this case, the opportunity was there because at the time they were actually playing better than the men.
Well, they are always playing better than the men. Our men are just terrible.
Right. So, when you're the two contracts were signed at pretty much at the same time.
No, I understand signed at the same time, but did the women have, if the women would have gone the route the men had, would they have had the same earning potential? Is yes. Really the question.
And at that point, yes.
Either way, I'm not tackling that one. Jason, what do you want to talk about? Something that won't get us yelled at?
Yeah, I was just reading an article on it right now because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Sure. I think that's important to not say the wrong thing.
And I wanted to make sure I had a grasp of it. But that being said, I've been playing this game for the last couple weeks called... Actually, hold on a second. Do you want to talk about that? Two things, and I'll try to be quick about it.
Okay.
So I'm playing a game called Mass Effect right now. There's Mass Effect Legendary Edition just came out. In 2009, the first Mass Effect came out. It was either 2000, maybe it's 2007. I think it was 2008. It's been a long time. And the thing that was special about this game is that everything that you did in the first, certain decisions you made in the first one would transfer to the second one, and then, or to the third one, and like so on and so forth. So the second one, decisions you make are going to be affected. And it's like, this hasn't been done since. Like, there has been no other game that has been that, like, we're going to make a game for the next 6 years that connects to each other, everyone, I've been playing that, and I played it all when they came out. Each one came out, I played each one. And I'm playing it now straight through. And it's just amazing. And I don't go back to too many, like, pieces of media and stick with it, like, for a second time. So my first question to you guys, or like what I'd like to talk about is, do you have some piece of media or like game, book, whatever that you've played, listened to, watched multiple times, and like it's as good each time, if not better? This time that I'm playing it, like everything's been upgraded. It's all the downloadable content, all the special stuff. But I usually don't like playing the same game twice, ever. But it's also been almost a decade. So that's the first thing. Second thing is Bo Burnham's Inside. Have either of you guys watched that yet?
No, I've seen a lot of people talking about how great it is. Which leads me to think it's going to let me down. Yeah,
probably. I don't know. That being said, there's a song. There's a couple of songs on there that I really connect with and are just so emotional. Like, I never looked at Bo Burnham as being like somebody that would make me emotional and laugh necessarily, because I remember when he came out, like in the 2007, 2006, and like he was this 16-year-old kid doing stuff on the... Anyhow, I just can't stop listening to it. And each time I hear All Eyes on Me, like each time I hear that song, like it brings up a melancholy. And when I think about that movie or that piece of art, it makes me very melancholy. It's funny, but it's also just has this So is there a piece of comedy, so it's supposed to be comedy, that affects you like that? Either one of you.
So to answer your first question, I have a book by Louis L'Amour called The Walking Drum that I read once a year. And it's as good now as it was the first time I read it. And I've been reading it for 30 years.
Awesome.
I'll answer your first question. I go back to The Sopranos multiple times. I've watched the series all the way through at least 10 times. Similar for Sons of Anarchy. I've not as many times for that one, but I would say probably I've seen the whole series not every season 7 times, but I've seen the first season 7 or 8 times. So I've seen the whole series all the way through 7 or 8 times. So there's a few TV shows like that. I've literally seen every episode of Hogan's Heroes multiple times. Same for the original or Dragnet and Adam 12 from the 60s. So yeah, there's a ton of TV that I just keep going back to like that. And it's the same reason people watch The Office over and over again.
Yeah.
Because there's a comfort in it. You know what's going to happen, good, bad, whatever. You know what's going to happen, and there's a comfort in that certainty. And I think that's the reason people tend to go back to things like that over and over again. Now, Kareem, you want to answer the second part of his question?
Not a piece of comedy, but there's a song by the Roots that Black Thought does. It's called "Clock with No Hands." That does that for me.
Yeah, that's comedy music. Yeah, because I mean that's the thing that's crazy about Bo is that like it's comedy and like it's music, so it elicits a So,
now you're looking for a feeling from comedy,
or music. If a comedy like you listen to all, it's supposed to be a comedy album, right? But
Sure.
Is it? You know, it was very like. It's funny, but it's also really like melancholic. So
okay, I will tell you this: anything, especially the earlier Christopher Titus specials, Norman Rockwell is Bleeding was hilarious and horrifying and traumatizing all at once. And the first time I saw it at the Just for Laughs festival in Montreal. And it had gotten really good reviews. I didn't really know that much about it. I didn't really know that much about Titus at that point. And I'm like, I just want to go to Just for Laughs because it's the biggest comedy festival in the world. And this, people were talking about it. It was getting a lot of buzz. And I just remember sitting through that, and it's just so many gut punch moments in that show where he's talking about, spoiler alert. I mean, this is 20 years ago now at this point, where he talks about his mom killing herself, and there's this whole thing leading up to it, and there's comedy in everything, and it goes to tragedy. But I mean, that was the most emotionally raw comedy show I had seen, and all of his material is similar to that, but there's the stuff that mines his childhood and his growing up, and then there's the stuff that comes after his custody fight and his divorce, which is a very similar sort of thing. Because if you watched his TV show, Titus, it was almost a love letter to his wife. And the misery that she put him through, cheating on him and everything else that went in the divorce and the custody and everything along with that. It was just everything is laid out bare like that in a love letter. And then it's like someone took a cheese grater to your heart, and it's like, and then he turns that into an hour special. So yeah, Christopher Titus. And there's no one close. There's no one close to that good.
And then I'll say maybe remember on the Richard Pryor show, he does a bit. It's two episodes in that show. He does one with Lily Tomlin, and it's like an interracial kiss, and it was like, don't do the kiss, and they did it, and it was an amazing. Like, you wouldn't have thought he was a comedian. It was like a Juilliard grade acting going on there. And then he does another bit about being in the gun store, and all the guns are talking. So those two.
There you go.
Which one was the one where he was where it was a diner?
That's the Star Wars diner.
Is it? It's like, and like it's like, but it's like a dramatic piece almost. It's not funny.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Because he's homeless, right? Is that he comes in? Yeah, that's amazing. It's an amazing piece.
All right, I want to talk about a guy trolling Facebook pages and pretending to be customer service. So
I follow this guy on TikTok.
Okay, so this is great. So person complains to Virgin Media saying, I'm having serious problems communicating with one of your colleagues at the call center and getting absolutely nowhere. I'm doubtful she's understanding me or my partner. And when I asked to speak to a supervisor or senior member of staff, she asked why. And so this person changes their profile to customer support, and the picture to Virgin Media. It says, hello, I'm Miguel. How I help you, please? Also complains to someone complained to a card company, what a ripoff your greeting cards are. A simple anniversary card for nearly £4. No wonder you hide the prices, and customers only find out how much they are when it gets scanned at the checkout. I told your cashier to cancel it with all my other purchases. Daylight robbery for a piece of card and a bit of paper. You've lost a customer forever. The response is, you should have bought one of our cheaper blank cards and added your own message, something like, roses are red, your husband thinks our prices are steep. We dread to think what he's bought you because his ass is so cheap. Someone complained to Bumble, what a crock of shit paid membership is, and it's total waste of time. The ladies on here don't contact even when you've matched or stopped talking to you. Probably fake profiles set up to get you to get men to pay for membership. So much for the happy ever after adverts you push. The response, with an attitude like that, the only happy ending you'll ever find will be in a Thai massage parlor. Which then elicited an angry response. Who the fuck are you talking to, you clown? Ob's a scam when you're being like that. You want to be saying that to my face? I would drop you. So there's a bunch of them. It's really quite a delight. It's really what customer response would like to be. Someone named Richard Winchester had a problem with McDonald's, said had the worst chicken sandwich ever, was completely dry, and for some reason the bread had grease on it. Had to throw it in the bin, was left with just the chips. Clearly this is British. I got from drive-thru on the way to work, so I couldn't return. I expect a refund. Sort yourselves out. This shouldn't happen. The McDonald's customer support. Your name is an anagram of shit sandwich. What are the chances? Richard Winchester then says, you can't speak to me like that. I want the address for your head office to take this further. So, Jason follows this person on TikTok. I'm not 12, so you can find the amazing troll man on Facebook. His name is Wesley Metcalf.
There's another guy that does a thing where he creates like a letterhead that make it look like he's from a newspaper, and then he emails like Chick-fil-A and says, "We got that we received that this is the way that you want your name to be listed on a notice about gay pride." We're like, we did not approve of this. He says, so you don't support this. This version of it. So anyway, I guess I'm pretty much where he prints. It says, "Okay, well, I'll print that you guys do not want us to print this." It's just funny to see people trolling these people.
It's a wonderful thing. All right, so this week, the Cleveland baseball team announced that they are changing their name effective next year. They will be known as the Cleveland Guardians. The Cleveland Guardians. So they basically dropped the IN off the front and changed it to GUAR. So they dropped the in and changed it to Guar. So Guar is now in is now Guar. Guar is now in is now Guar. Republicans are very upset. Ted Cruz tweeted, "Why does MLB hate Indians?"
Fuck that guy.
I mean, he's not technically in the segment, but I really couldn't resist.
Fuck that guy.
The responses from people on Twitter were delightful. Wait, I thought businesses were free to make their own decisions, free from government meddling. Someone else tweeted, really, Ted, is disliking Native Americans what this name change is about? You're incredibly disingenuous. Someone else said, maybe focus on policy making your constituents' needs. Literally anything, your job description rather than this. Brian Tyler Cohen tweeted, imagine if Ted Cruz was a fraction as concerned about his own state as he is about Ohio, Georgia, and Pennsylvania, and Michigan, and Wisconsin, and California. And Ned Pyle, with a photo of Ted Cruz at the airport, I admit the new name isn't as catchy as the Cancun Cruises. So I know this is all about getting into the feeding frenzy and this whole outrage culture that really permeates the conservative side of the aisle in the United States. I mean, for people who like to talk about how liberals are snowflakes and offended by everything, is there any group of people that is more easily offended and outraged than a group of conservatives about shit that does not matter to them and the least?
I mean, 2-year-olds.
Was it Megyn Kelly was trolling Naomi Osaka because she did a cover? It's like, what are you doing? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, are you still a thing?
She's trying to become a thing again, and that's the thing. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. All right. So screw that. I look forward to the Cleveland Guardians. I don't care. I'm happy to have them in the league. I'll get used to the name. I mean, look, they moved the Expos from Montreal and changed the name to the Nationals, and I the world kept spinning, and I was okay with it. So I think we'll all be okay with the Cleveland fucking Guardians.
Yeah,
you can go back to not caring about the baseball team in Cleveland again soon. It'll be okay if you just don't care. Just saying. All right, now officially for our segment.
Fuck that guy.
All right, so the former president back out having rallies. He was in Phoenix.
Nice.
Do you miss me yet?
no.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 45th president of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump!
Is he a WWE?
What the fuck? That's how it starts.
Oh yeah.
What the hell?
Oh, because they couldn't use longer than 8 seconds of "Proud to be an American."
Oh no, they can use the whole thing. You know they can. I want to know this. Whoever that was, Kareem, and I hope that brother got paid. That is clearly an African American gentleman voicing that open.
He got paid.
He better have gotten paid.
There are a lot of black people on the outrage to Trump train getting paid. It's sad.
Well, I mean, I guess they're probably thinking, well, fuck him, I'll take his money. So here's what I want to point out. Is there anybody in the universe that sounds like a bigger whiny crybaby than this guy?
It's crazy. But when you hear open borders, how about open borders, all this stuff?
The only people who say open borders are conservative pundits and Republicans who are trying to scare you. No one is offering open borders at all. It's a fucking scare tactic. Boo.
In my opinion, there's no way they win elections without cheating. There's no way. There's no way.
Well, your opinion doesn't matter because we have a lot of indications that they won by getting way more votes. Way more votes.
You lost. Get over it.
Well, he's in Arizona, and they've got a Republican governor there. His name is Doug Ducey, and well, this is the sound of Doug Ducey getting thrown under the Trump bus.
And she fights your governor who doesn't do a damn thing. I mean, she's fighting. He doesn't do a damn thing. Chairwoman Kelly Ward. Kelly. I called up Kelly recently. I said, why wouldn't the governor want an audit? It shows, I mean, maybe everything will prove to be correct, which we know won't happen.
Okay, but it did. Everything did. Even this half-ass monkey fucker outfit that did their weird thing couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
They hauled the ballots off to Montana to some fucking cabin. The guy who was running is like, everything seems okay.
Said, why wouldn't this governor, Doug Ducey, when I did rallies, he always wanted to be in the front row. Sir, could you mention my name, please? Sir, yeah, I'll mention. And
I doubt that. I really doubt that.
I did these rallies, and he wasn't very popular, but he won by a lot because he ran against a very defective candidate, which they found out after they nominated that Democrat. But I'd introduce him, and I wouldn't get...
That's what happened with Joe Biden. He won because he ran against a really defective candidate.
Yes.
100%. I mean, it takes, recognizes like, right? It's
much of an applause, and I get a lot of boos, and I kept saying, this guy's not very popular. But now, you know what? He's not popular with me either.
I'm sure he has problems sleeping at night with that bit of knowledge. So next,
who talks like that? Who talks about like is this fucking high school? I mean, that's the problem. Is like his constituency thinks like they like to think about their high school. Like, man, when I used to be in high school, right?
Okay, so I went to see John Witherspoon. Y'all know who that is, right? The comedian, pops from. So I went to see him, and he did the most amazing thing for me as a comic. So to keep people from shouting out all his taglines through his whole set, he just went through them one by one at the very beginning of the set. Like he hit every tagline that he had ever done at the very beginning of the set to get the shit out of the way.
Let him yell "wild and crazy guy" and be done with it.
Yes, this is what this reminds me of, and not a masterful version like he did. This is a fucking lazy version of that.
Yeah, Trump is the lazy version of everything.
Yeah, it's a lazy version of I'm gonna. Oh, and it look, it's like he's not even going by the script. He's just remembering them as he talks. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to talk about that. Let me say that.
He went on to bash Mitch McConnell too, who got booed as well. Next, he talked about the big lie.
The big lie, they call it. You know what's the big lie? The opposite is the big lie.
No, it's not. No, it's just not. Just not.
Fuck that guy.
All right, I don't want to hear any more of that. Aaron Rupar, who live tweeted this. This one is he just writes, irony just suffered a mortal wound.
If I lost this election, I could handle it pretty easily. When they steal it from you and rig it, that's not easy, and we have to fight. We have no choice. Have to fight.
Sounds like you're getting ready to cry at the end there. We have to fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is fine. It's okay to cry. Yes.
But it's not okay to whine.
No, without a doubt. I get on my daughter about that a lot.
Right? So I just want to, so this rally happened on July 24th, 2021. The last time we really heard anything of note from Hillary Clinton was November of 2016.
Wow.
This is what's happening at the rallies.
I never even thought of it. But after I got asked that question 4 or 5 times, I said, what the hell is going on with Russia? And it was a fake deal made up by Hillary Clinton with a fake dossier where they paid. They play a different game. But, ultimately, we're much bigger than them. We have many more people because...
No, you don't. You're not bigger in any way, shape, or form, and you don't have more people. You just don't. at all. It's not even close.
You just have rigged elections in state houses. That's it. That's what you got.
There's not. There is empirically not more Republicans or conservatives than there are people who are on the liberal side of things. And when you factor in people who are in the center, it's just not close. All right. And then he went on to talk about Joe Biden's first 6 months.
But you know what? If instead of doing the horrible, they're saying it was the worst 6 months in the history of the presidency.
No one's saying that. No one's saying that. I mean, they did about you last year. Yes. No one's saying that about Biden now.
They just make shit up as they go.
Yeah. This one, he says, Trump is just out here making stuff up in hopes of snowing people into believing the election was stolen from him. So let's check this one out.
They went for the table. They lifted up the skirt of the table, and lo and behold, it was loaded up with ballots, but they weren't ballots that were in boxes that ballots come. They were in whether it was suitcases, it was totally different. They took those and they started putting them in, sometimes 3 times, sometimes 5 times, and they stood there.
Prove it.
And I'll tell you what, when people looked at that, they got sick. People threw up looking at it.
Fuck that guy.
I mean, I saw one man, one cup, and I didn't throw up. You know what I mean? If you're going to throw up, you're going to throw up when you see that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I saw a C-section, and I didn't throw up. You know what I mean?
What about this?
County has, for whatever reason, also refused to produce the network routers. We want the routers, Sonny. Wendy, we got to get those routers.
Do you know what routers are and what routers do?
They do not store any information, you fucking idiot.
We got to get the routers. Gotta get the routers. He seems a bit delusional as well, making claims that just aren't true.
They almost got away with it. They may have gotten away with it. We're going to find out because something's going to have to be done. But I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, if somebody robs Tiffany, a beautiful jeweler, 57th and 5th, good location, excellent location, and they steal the diamonds, and then they get caught, they have to turn the diamonds back. It's very simple. Amazing the way it works. They almost
okay. The office of the presidency is not a diamond at Tiffany's. Now he said Tiffany. Someone steals Tiffany's diamond. I thought, oh, he's going to tell a story about his daughter.
Yeah.
No.
Nope. No, of course not.
Not that daughter. Then he went on to talk a little bit about Mike Pence.
And I only wish that my friend Mike Pence had that additional courage to send the results back to the legislatures.
Well, whether he had the courage or not, he didn't have the legal right to do that. That's not a thing. It was never a thing.
I wish he had the courage to stand up for the man that almost got him and his family killed.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Oh, here's another one they're throwing at the wall now.
The radical left, Democrat, Communist Party.
Okay.
Fuck that guy.
All right, and here's where he goes to the Republican Party and said, and really, he is holding them hostage, and they're allowing it. But this is what happens when you allow yourself to be held hostage by a crazy person.
Right now. And you know what? If you don't...
Oh, sorry.
I hate to say this because it's terrible for our country, but you're going to have Republicans that aren't going to want to vote. They're not going to want to work for Kelly. They're not going to want to have to work for Wendy and for Borelli, Mr. Italy. They're not going to work for you. No, you know what they're going to say? they're going to say, we're not going to let it happen again. And that's what happened to the two senators. They're not going to work for you, and you got to get going. It's the most important issue. You got to get going. We don't have the luxury to sit back and to wait until the next election. We don't. So many people, and there's.
So basically, if they don't amplify his claims about election fraud, which are false, no one will want to vote for them. This one he is just titled Delusional Stuff.
You're way ahead of everybody. Running 24, sir. You're going to win. And I say, wait a minute. I just won 6 months ago.
One, you're losing to Ron DeSantis. Two, no, you didn't. And then this just gets an LOL. So check this one out.
Like it or not, we are becoming a communist country. That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
No, it's not.
No. You know what else they said was communism?
Everything.
Mixed schools. Desegregation, wanting to be able to let white people and black people marry each other. It's all communist, dude.
Hey, Jason, when was the last time you bought groceries?
Last week.
Kareem, what about you?
Today,
Did you have your ID?
I didn't have it to buy groceries.
Are you sure?
I'm most
Everybody wants
positive.
voter ID. Who doesn't want it? You go to the grocery store, you give a picture. Do anything you do, you give a picture.
No.
No. So I saw some idiot on TikTok. He supposedly won the argument by saying, well, if they don't have voter ID, I can vote 100 times. And it's like, if you vote 100 times, then you deserve to go to jail for being the dumbass that voted 100 times.
Well, you're going to jail anyway.
Yeah. No regular people are voting 100 times. And it's like, do you actually understand the voting process? There has to be a name in order for you to vote. You fucking idiot.
Right. There's an old person crossing a name off a list every time.
Yes.
So by the way, this was carried live on Newsmax, but not on Fox News. They did not carry it, the whole thing. So 90 minutes in, Trump on to, maybe you can find common ground, Kareem.
Cemented. The U.S. women's soccer team is a very good example of what's going on. Earlier this week, they unexpectedly lost to Sweden 3-0.
Why are you cheering that?
And Americans were happy about it. You proved that point before I even said it.
Okay.
Like, I'm not even happy about that. But it was because of the girl that turned her back on the flag.
Can we get over this, please?
Yes.
Can we please just get over the flag? Can we just please get over the flag? And things like this.
We are at the beginning of a communist system. Radicals are seizing power and destroying everything we hold dear as Americans, and it's happening.
No, it's
What's he hold dear?
not. Nothing.
Pussy.
You realize that if it was really communism, they would have shot her for turning her back on the flag, you fucking idiot.
He also can't remember the name of the Taliban leader. Remember, this guy thinks he's still president. Can't remember the Taliban leader.
Much different deal. I told the Taliban, I spoke to the leader, and I said, let's call him Mohammed.
Let's not.
It's not his name.
It's not. It's not even close.
Oh my god, man! Like, what the fuck, dude?
Let's call him Muhammad. Let's call him Muhammad. Almost 2 hours. 2 hours.
Fuck that guy.
All right, moving on. Jose Canseco, remember that guy?
Oh, God.
So Jose Canseco is on Twitter at Jose Canseco. He tweeted on July 21st from Paradise, Nevada, if you're wondering where he's hanging out. I wonder if aliens drink and do drugs. Maybe I will try dating one. Female alien, of course. I saw this and I'm like, did he forget to hashtag no homo? What year are we in now?
Also,
what kind of drugs is Jose taking these days?
I don't know. I really don't know. Someone who goes by the handle @crumdumps replied, "I guarantee his top Pornhub search is Galian after seeing this tweet." So Jose Canseco.
Fuck that guy.
All right.
Oh, who would have thought that one of my heroes growing up, like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, well, did you hear about Mark McGuire and his use of the roids?
Him too. I mean, just like fucking Dave Stewart's the only one I can really have faith in.
And Ricky, man. Ricky
Henderson. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that Ricky didn't know any of his teammates' names. He just called them by the position they played.
Yeah.
Third baseman.
Oh, and Dave Henderson also, man. Hindu.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes fuck that guy happens in the most wonderful places, like when Rand Paul has a virtual town hall.
This is Alexis Toon. You are live with the senator. You can go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Senator. I am a proud Kentucky citizen, and I just wanted to tell you to get fucked.
All right, we'll go ahead to...
She clearly was not ready for. Now Rand Paul, his expression did not change at all, because that's not the first time he's heard that at all.
Used to it.
Yeah. So the moderator not prepared for that at all. But hey, let me throw in an extra one for you.
Fuck that guy.
All right. Now Tucker Carlson.
Oh, man.
Fuck that guy.
He ran into a gentleman from Montana.
I don't care, man. You are the worst human being known to mankind. I want you to know that what you have done to this state, to the United States, to everything else in this world. I don't care that your daughter's here. What you've done to people's families, what you have done to everybody else in this society. Son,
And I like that Tucker went, "My daughter's here."
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
All he did, he went up to him and quietly said, "I want you to know you are the worst human being known to mankind. I want you to know that." He didn't make a loud scene. He did get very close to him, though.
Yeah.
So,
fuck that guy.
Yep. And one last thing in
fuck that guy,
which goes right into our COVID is killing things. Eric Clapton has said, slow hand himself, Eric Clapton, old white Eric Clapton, said he will not play shows where proof of vaccination is required. He said he will cancel any shows if a venue requires attendees prove they're vaccinated against COVID-19, which prompted Valerie Bertinelli to post a picture of herself with Eddie Van Halen and Eric Clapton and saying, "Once a dick, always a dick."
Fuck that guy.
So, yeah, that's our segment.
Fuck that guy.
All right. So COVID. Been talking about the Delta variant. We've been talking about just how fucking infectious it is, about how the people that are really getting hit by this are the people who are not vaccinated, in terms of people who are getting severely ill. The severely ill are and hospitalized. 97% of the people who get hospitalized are people who are not vaccinated, and 99% of the people who are dying at this point are people who are not vaccinated. Now, if you are vaccinated and you happen to get the Delta variant, then you can pass it on to other people. Like, I don't know, my children who are not old enough to be vaccinated. So you're now a threat to my children, which pisses me off. Okay. But here's a little bit about, look, Let's just call it like it is.
Yeah.
If you choose not to get vaccinated, willfully choose not to get vaccinated, you are an existential and real life threat to the well-being of my children who are too young to get vaccinated. And Jason's children and Kareem's grandkids. And I think people need to be called out on that level. Be like, look. Yes, Kareem?
My wife just came in the picture. I don't think she realized we're having like a serious like talk right now about.
Oh, is she doing a big
people.
big wavy smile?
Yeah. Well, she's eating out of. She's eating.
She likes to eat some Cheez-Its.
Oh, okay.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Out of
all right.
the
Well.
bin.
All right. Well, and here's the problem. The people who are mocking vaccines are now dying.
Yep.
Surge is pushing some hospitals in hot zones to their limit. In the Kansas City area, doctors say they're running out of beds, and Kansas state health officials are bracing for it to get worse.
Everybody needs to think of this as a crisis. This is a crisis situation.
With the rapid spread of the Delta variant, St. Louis County late today reinstating a mask mandate. And now a new national model predicts the surge in COVID cases may not peak until mid-October, with daily deaths potentially more than tripling what they are now. 38 states and New York City are seeing daily case averages double, triple, or quadruple over the last 2 weeks. 1 in 5 new cases are in Florida.
When you see. Okay. I'm Facebook friends with someone who's a nurse. She tweeted a picture of herself at work today. They're now back to the masks and the shields and peak COVID precautions. She was not impressed by that. So anyway, Southern California man in his 30s, 34, openly mocked vaccines in social media posts. He died of COVID. Yeah. Here's someone who has not died of COVID, but
he should have.
You know, I think a pointy cowboy boot kick right to the taint while he's coughing.
February. Scott Rowe is one of them.
Here I am recovering, getting out of here finally tomorrow. Am I going to get a vaccine? No.
Why not?
Because there's too many issues with these vaccines.
This father...
What are the issues with the vaccine?
What's the issue? That it saves your life?
What are the issues? There are too many issues.
Former baseball coach, small business owner, and hunter caught COVID, and then he developed pneumonia.
Before you got sick, if you would have had a chance to get the vaccine and prevent this, would you have taken the vaccine?
Nope.
So you'd have gone through this?
I'd have gone through this, yes, sir. Don't shove it down my throat. That's what's local, state, federal administration is trying to do, is shove it down your throat.
What are they shoving, the science?
No, they're shoving the fact that that's their agenda. The agenda is to get you vaccinated.
You know who Mr. Scalise is?
I know who Steve Scalise is very well.
Rowe.
Yeah, by the way, Steve Scalise, vaccinated.
I need to say this about this.
Go on.
For all you fucking idiots who like to point out, well, you got the vaccine and you can still get COVID. We knew that, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, it's not 100% effective.
Right, yes. Like, we understood that. We understood that, knowing that you could still get it, but it would not kill you because of the vaccine.
And you're probably not going to be in the hospital.
Probably not going to be in the hospital. So we took the vaccine knowing that. The fact that you think that that's a got you means that you didn't know shit about what's going on. And all of you dumb motherfuckers that did not pass physical science in elementary school, you are not a fucking you do not know more than a doctor. You do not know more than an immunologist. You do not know more than a scientist. You do not know more than Dr. Fauci.
They're trying to shove it down my throat.
Go sit your dumb ass down in a corner somewhere, smoke some weed, jerk off, play video games, do whatever the fuck you were doing before this shit happened.
Is he talking to you, Jason?
And you wanted to act like you knew something.
Because you just described Jason's ideal day.
I mean,
but no, Jason does other
but
stuff.
I'm vaccinated.
No, right. I was talking about the jerking off in the video games.
I mean, listen, man, if I had the house to myself, that would be it. For sure. Watch some porn on the big screen.
Yeah.
And I mean, because I want to see those like pores. You know what I mean? Better be some 4K. Fuck these people, man. I was so fucking pissed the other day. Fuck all these people, and they are existential threats to like the fucking whole world at this point. Like, man, fuck it, dude. I'm just. That being said, I'm not wearing my seatbelt anymore, everyone, because I just really don't like taking the time to buckle it and unbuckle it. And I mean, if I get in a car accident, I might die anyway. So,
look, I'm not cooking chicken all the way through anymore either. Fuck it. Who has time for that shit?
Yeah, right.
I'm eating chicken raw.
Yeah, chicken's tasty.
Meanwhile,
the half cooked bacon I get everywhere.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, the governor of Alabama has some words.
Where the science is clear, vaccines are safe and vaccines work, but efforts to convince people to get the shot have fallen short, particularly in some Republican-led states. In fact, all but one of the 10 states with the lowest vaccination rates have Republican governors. Mississippi and Alabama are the only states that have yet to vaccinate even 35% of their population. And Alabama's Republican governor says it's time to point fingers at those who refuse to follow the science. Listen to Kay Ivey.
These folks are choosing a horrible lifestyle of self-inflicted pain.
What is it going to take to get people to get shots in arms?
I don't know. You tell me. Folks supposed to have common sense. But it's time to start blaming the unvaccinated folks, not the regular folks. It's the unvaccinated folks that are letting us down.
There it is.
Okay.
A Republican governor said it out loud.
Well, because
this bitch did not do mask mandates in the state. Has not done any of that shit.
No. You can't expect people to take it seriously now.
And I know we're gonna get to this, but why the fuck is it? How can you say that there are no politics in sports, but sports are the things that are are ahead of everything else in this shit? With everything, the NBA shut down last year, which was the catalyst for shutting down the country. Now the NFL's like, either you get vaccinated, or you can't, or we're going to take your money for it. And today, what happened? Governor Newsom said that all state workers, I think it was state workers and healthcare workers, got to get vaccinated, and other people are following suit.
They have to be vaccinated or they have to be tested regularly. And I believe it's weekly that they have to be tested if they're not vaccinated. There are people that cannot be vaccinated.
Yes.
But yeah, that's it. And I have friends who are state workers who are like, look, there are outbreaks in my office. I've refused to go back to the office because of this.
Yep.
And thankfully, if you work for the state, you can do that and not lose your job. But
that's the shit that I was dealing with. That's why I never wanted to go to our office.
Right. Well, you mentioned the NFL, they have informed clubs that if a game cannot be rescheduled during the 18-week season, last season, a lot of teams had to reschedule games. I'm looking at you, Tennessee Titans, you fuckers.
The Steelers had to reschedule 3 games last year because coaches and players on other teams did not follow the fucking protocol.
Right. Probably 2 of them were Tennessee.
Tennessee Titans were one of those.
Right.
The Ravens was another one. I can't remember what that third team was, but I think the team that followed protocol should be paid, but fuck the other team.
So basically, if you cannot have your game rescheduled during the 18-week season due to a COVID outbreak among unvaccinated players, the team with the outbreak will forfeit and be credited with a loss for playoff seeding. So there is going to be a consequence that involves you losing games because of it. Now, DeAndre Hopkins got all chesty to begin with. He's since deleted his tweet.
That shit lasted for like 5 minutes.
I had time to dunk on him a little bit on Twitter, but while it was up. So, hey, DeAndre Hopkins.
Fuck that guy.
And look, we were screaming last season, like they should forfeit the fucking game.
Yeah.
Especially when you found out the bullshit that they were doing.
Right? And speaking of fuck around and find out, Rick Dennison, who is a position coach. Well, I'm sorry. Rick Dennison was a position coach for the Vikings. He refused to get a COVID-19 vaccine, and the Vikings said, get the fuck out.
Bye. Fuck that guy.
So yeah. Someone replied, wow, is that even legal? Yeah.
Yep.
Sure is.
And Twitter reminded me this last week that motherfuckers don't understand what consequences and the choices are.
Right?
Like, hey, you don't have a right to do anything except for your basic rights. As far as work goes, nobody guarantees you shit. Like, if you decide that you don't want to follow the rules, cool. You can be as big a outcast hippie you want to, but the world doesn't stop for you. Nobody has to make it so that what you do is acceptable. No.
Right. All right. Moving on from COVID. So there was a Catholic leader who wanted to deny Joe Biden communion. He's resigned. Why? Well, he got caught using a gay dating app. By the way, Catholic leaders aren't allowed to date at all. Gay or straight. It's part of the deal. Vow of celibacy, no dating.
I'm glad that he's out now. I mean, I'm sure that he'll have a good time at Pride next year.
He's literally out because he's had to resign. Fuck with Joe Biden and his communion. All right, so this is the part of the show where I'm like, Utah, but not Alabama. And I'll tell you why. The city of Salt Lake has declared racism to be a public health crisis. And the mayor has adopted a joint resolution pledging to eradicate racist policies. It comes after the CDC declared racism was a serious public health threat in April. Salt Lake City, Utah. I do not know what the minority population of Salt Lake City is outside of the Jazz. It's not a lot. But it's been declared a public health crisis, and they're going to do something about it. Or at least they say they are. Kareem, what do you think?
Are they going to change the Book of Mormon part where they say black people aren't people?
Well, I mean, technically, the Book of Mormon doesn't run the state. Technically.
Yeah, technically.
I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, no, I guarantee you that they're getting ready to change it because they need more people.
I mean, I'm just saying, that was one of the things. If they can change that, then we can talk. We can consider having a conversation.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing they're probably not going to get into religion with the government there, but anyway,
into everything else there.
So they did in Utah. They at least said, yeah, it's a problem. We have to do that. Meanwhile, in Alabama, this happened at a city council meeting.
I mean, I know I'm black.
Do we have a house nigger in here?
Yeah, you.
Okay. Do we? Hey, do we? Would she please stand up?
Y'all were seeing this, right? Camera.
Y'all seeing this, right?
Yeah, it's on camera. It's on. There's cameras. You can see clearly. There's a camera and microphones there.
Yeah.
So this dude don't give a fuck.
Well, he had the safety of the mic and the cameras, and the police that were in the audience. That's what he had the safety of.
Oh man,
that's what he had the safety of. He knew that he knew that nobody could get to him because of those things. But somebody should go see him.
They should all go camp out in front of his place like that one dude.
The dude in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? The man's name is Tommy Bryant. He's 76, and he talks like a 76-year-old white guy named Tommy. What you'd expect that? Wow. Wow.
A
Wow.
BB gun, a BB pellet to the taint.
I mean, to think that that's okay, that's even remotely okay to be saying as a public official in a public forum blows my mind.
Yes,
blows my mind. But I guess it proves that we haven't solved racism yet.
Nope.
Not until we wait for every white guy named Tommy to die. Have you guys heard of Addison Rae?
Yes.
Addison Rae is either UFC's newest live event reporter, or she's trolling hard, or perhaps both, because she's touting what seems to be a new on-camera gig, which has a lot of journalism student advocates pissed off. This TikTok star posted photos of herself, hi guys, at what seemed like a teaser to the UFC event. She took a photo in front of the wall saying, I studied broadcast journalism in college for 3 whole months to prepare for this moment, where she's standing in the front of the red carpet. People were very upset at her.
And I think she's a Trump supporter.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me either. I mean, she you know what she is? She's a future Fox News anchor is what she is. So I found that amusing. You guys know there's a new Jackass movie?
I saw the preview for it the other night.
And there's an episode of Jackass Shark Week.
No way, really?
Oh, way. If you get the Discovery app, the new Discovery Plus thing.
Oh, and since you brought up wrestling, Stars has a new show that you're going to love called Heels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if we have Stars anymore. That might be one we dropped.
Yeah, you might pick it up.
I'm sure it'll be on Netflix soon. Anyway, the new Jackass movie, Bam Margera will not be there. Or anywhere near it anytime soon, because Bam Margera apparently ate Bam Margera. He has to stay away from director Jeff Tremaine. Jeff claims Bam has recently threatened his life. He was granted a restraining order that requires Bam to keep at least 100 yards away from Jeff for the next 3 years. He's not allowed to contact Jeff in any way or Jeff's wife and kids.
Damn.
TMZ broke the story. Jeff sought protection from his one-time pal after Bam recently went on a fuming rant against Tremaine and Johnny Knoxville. JT claimed Bam was sending him increasingly disturbing messages, threatened his children, and made a comment that Tremaine and Knoxville can pencil in their death certificate. The director said he feared for his family's and his own personal safety, so he filed for the restraining order and clearly presented enough evidence for the judge to sign off. Now, Bam's already been kicked off Jackass 4, and the restraining order likely means a reunion is not in the works.
No.
That dude had every fucking chance, and they fucking tried to get him to be part of it. They had like an intervention with the fucker and said, hey,
Booked a spacious Vrbo summer home with a pool.
We want you to be part of this, your family. This is what we're doing, but you need to get clean. And he was like, go fuck yourselves.
Wow.
I mean, like, I think he might have tried going to rehab and then left and then started doing this type of shit. And there's like, yeah, well, he's not part of this.
I forget the member of the Jackass crew that was like super tight with Bam and drove his car drunk and high and hit a tree and died. Ryan. Yeah.
Something. I can't remember his full name.
When that happens to someone that close to you and it's not a wake-up call for you, I have to question how far bottom is for you.
Yeah.
Bottom is really low for you at that point. So
I never found like any of the shit he did. Like, there's another guy that's on TikTok that I see sometimes, but like his shit that he did with his parents and stuff like that was never like,
Tom Green.
Yeah, it was kind of funny, but then but at the same, it was just he's just being a fucking dick to his family. He's just being a fucking asshole to his family. That's all it is. It's not going to a hardware store and taking a shit inside a toilet. That's there, which is horrible, but it's fucking hilarious. Because that takes fucking balls. Waking your parents up that you fucking live with, just fuck, dude. It's
that was Tom
busting into the bathroom and just starting to hit your dad who's trying to take a shit in the morning.
Yeah, where's that okay? That's the worst part of our my generation.
I will say this. One could argue that his parents raised him, so I guess they got what they had coming.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know about that, but
no, it's shitty. I was never a big fan of his.
Yeah. No, I once never said Viva la Bam or went, hey, Viva la Bam is on, let's watch that. No.
Yeah.
No, he was the least interesting part of the Jackass cast, and by a wide margin.
I knew guys like that growing up, and one guy was a friend of mine at one time, and he's, they're fucking assholes. And still assholes. Once an asshole, usually always an asshole.
Yep. All right, let's get out of here. Oh, not that one. Sorry.
Oh,
hold on.
Shit.
Hold on. I have to go back. I have to go
back.
back. There we go. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Here it is.
Let's leave the hustle and bustle for small town news.
All right, we go to WCAX Channel 3, where they have a story about something going on in Vermont. Get ready to get excited.
Out and about in Vermont. I spoke with the Vermont Cheese Council about this new activity and how you can participate. Joining me now is Marty Mundy, the Executive Director of the Vermont Cheese Council. Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
So tell me about the hunt. What does this involve and how does it work?
Sure. The hunt is it's a scavenger hunt and curated insider's guide to exploring Vermont. So it's about exploring its arts, its history, its outdoors, and of course, its cheeses. It's something that the Vermont Cheese Council put together as a way to help people just find ways to experience and enjoy sort of the best of Vermont.
Okay. Here's what it is. It's a scavenger hunt where people get out and compete in challenges to win a cheese box prize.
Okay.
You can download booklets for one of the 6 regions in the state and pick at least 5 of the 10 items to complete. And this is the second hunt of the year, or the second year of the hunt. So I'm sure it'll be back. The deadline to finish it is October 22nd. So Jason, you could pop over to Vermont and do a cheese hunt of some sort if you like.
Okay, yeah, we'll see. I'm down to try anything.
It's some package. You could do the northwest part, in Burlington, the northwest corner.
So we're going to be in Long Island.
That's not near there. Okay.
But then we have to go across we're going to take a ferry across to whatever state that is. It's a different state.
From Long Island?
Yeah.
That's Connecticut.
Connecticut. Okay, there you go. I mean, Connecticut, Vermont. I mean, it's all little tiny states. It's all those New England states.
Enjoy the hunt. Enjoy the hunt, or don't. I mean, I don't care. But that's small town news. Before we go, any final words, Kareem?
Get vaccinated and stop being an idiot.
Jason.
Yeah, don't fuck with my cat. Fuck around and you're gonna find out, like those 2 cats outside just did.
Oh, all right.
That's why I got up.
There you go. All right, that's going to do it for us for this episode of the WTH podcast. Thanks for patiently waiting for our return for 2 weeks. By the way, ow, my belly button, my follow-up with the surgeon is tomorrow. We'll see how it's healing. Or yesterday, if you're hearing this as the download. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Sorry you missed that one in person. 100%. All right. That'll do it for us. Back next week with another fresh new episode. Hopefully, maybe this week will be great. No one will say anything stupid and we won't be pissed off, but I doubt that. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you next time.
Darling New Media,
here to help you tell your story.